Hello everyone and welcome back to the Fishing with Matt channel. So today you join me down at West Sussex and we are giving it a go for, can you guess with a bait like that? That's right, it is stingray time. So yeah, we're down the beach. We are going to give it a go for a stingray today. I've got down here nice and early in the morning for the morning high tide and it's a big one. So yeah, fingers crossed, we're going to get some lovely ragworm baits out there on some lovely sea weight rigs, using the sea weight weights, stuff like that. You know the drill by now. But yeah, we'll show you what we're doing, where we are, what bait we got, and hopefully we'll get into a stingray. Wouldn't that be absolutely amazing? So it is 9 in the morning and we have been up since about 6 o'clock getting everything planned and finding our spot. Some of you will know where we are. We're at a place called Oldwick and there's a decent spot. I had a ray down here a couple of months ago, an undulate ray, just over 8 pounds. But yeah, we got a pound and a half of ragworm with us and we're going to be doing some big ragworm baits like this. We're going to be casting one rod out far and one closer in, and hopefully at high tide, which is around 11 I think today, we'll have to check in a minute, we're going to get into a stinger. So yeah, the first bait that we're using obviously is ragworm. That's what we're using all day. The first rig is a sea weights up and over pulley rig. I put some new hooks on here. I've got a 3/0 at the bottom and a 2/0 at the top. So yeah, let's get that chucked out and fingers crossed. Here we go then, we are going for our first cast. So this is the Penrath 2 rod with the Penn Tidal XT 8000 reel. Gonna give it a nice blast out there with a clip down rig. It makes sure that your bait is gonna get out to where you've cast and it won't go flapping around. So on that cast, we didn't lose a single little bit of ragworm and the bait is safely out there. So that's happy days with the first bait out. Just turned 9 in the morning. Let's have a cracking session, everybody. So we have picked up an absolutely gorgeous pound and a half of ragworm from our bait digger George. These ragworm have literally come out the ground about an hour ago. Well, probably about 2 hours ago this morning. He went digging at 6 AM, picked these up for me. So that is absolutely amazing. So what you want to be trying to be careful of doing when putting the ragworm on is to not split them. I've messed that one up a little bit. But you want to try and keep them intact so that the juice stays inside of them. We are putting about 4 decent sized ragworm on there, maybe 5 smaller ones. We've got an absolute beast here. Look at the size of that bad boy. Dug this morning, that is an absolute unit of a ragworm. So we'll probably end up doing only 3 on this one, with this massive one. But this is going on a sea weights pulley rig. You've got both of them baited up with a 3/0 pulley hook and then a 2/0 pedal hook. So yeah, just feeding them up slowly. We've got a uni knot tying the hook to the line, and that is to try and stop the ragworm from exploding when we take its head over the top of it. So yeah, we're going to carry on putting this bait up and together, and I'll get back to you and show you in a second. Right then, so here is our bait. So we've got 3 or 4 ragworm on there. We've got one right at the bottom and the hook down here. What we do, we feed it up the line, keep on feeding them up, and then once you're done, you push the pennel hook down and compact the bait, so you've got a nice sausage there. And then you can use some bait elastic. I haven't got any fine stuff with me. I left it at the beach or something like that yesterday, which is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, we hooked the little pennel hook up the top there. So we got a nice compact and juicy bait there. Gonna get that clipped down and cast out, everybody. Here we go then. So going for the second cast on the pulley rig this time. So as I said, I'm going for one at distance, which is the other rod, and then one close in, as the stingrays tend to be caught closer in than what you'd really expect, to be fair. And with people swimming on beaches like this, it's a little bit scary. So it's going to go for a bit of a half chuck there, and that is probably about 20 metres out, and the other one is 30 to 40, I'd say. So that's all we're going to do. We're going to leave them there. Watch the rods and I'll give you a little bit of information. So a little bit of information about how to fish for the stingrays. So I have tried before down near Warsash Way in Southampton water and failed. I just caught smoothhounds basically, which is the other bycatch when you're going for the stingrays. But what we'll be looking for is a nice flat calm sea on a warm day and an incoming tide. Now people say it's better off in the evening incoming tide when it's been warm, because what the stingrays are looking for is a nice sandy or muddy bottom that has been warmed up in the sun all day. They can come and chill on. So that's why you want to be casting a little bit closer in. So yeah, it is a big tide today. I think it goes up to about 5 meters from a 0.5 at a low this morning, at about 4 in the morning, something like that. So yeah, we're gonna have a good 3 or 4 hours fishing. I'm gonna fish it all the way up and probably an hour over, unless we have an absolute bumper session. You never know what could happen. But yeah. So yeah, I've just checked and it was a 5 AM low tide and it's gonna be about 11:15 high tide. So we've got about 2 hours or so before high tide. Realistically, I probably would have want to be fishing from about 8 o'clock, so an extra 3 hours, or 3 hours in total, rather than the 2 up that I'm going to get. But yeah, we should be able to get into some fish, I hope. So hopefully you'll be able to see this. But this is our pound of ragworm. We got £1.5 of rag from George. So I can tell it's local because it's got a bit of sand in it and the conditions have changed in the local area. So yeah, we've got a nice £1.5 of medium rag there, which is sweet as a nut. So that should hopefully get us through this session, and if we have some left over, then we will just use it on this evening's session. So what I'm going to be planning on doing is changing the baits about every 25 minutes or so. I haven't got, obviously I've got a good amount of ragworm, but you'd probably be wanting a £2 per session sort of thing, which is, you know, obviously quite expensive. But yeah, we're going to be changing baits every 25 minutes, 20 minutes-ish. Make sure we got some fresh, nice ragworm out there. I have got a third rig set up, ready to go straight away. So yeah, gonna give it another 5 or 10 minutes on the right hand rod, and then we're gonna change that bait. Obviously you're gonna work around the rigs. With 3 rigs, just makes it easier. So yeah, definitely a top tip is have another rig baited up and ready to go. So just do a quick pan around and show you the conditions today. It is about 15 or 16 degrees. So I am very, very comfortable in just trackies and my Sea Weights branded gear. So yeah, it's happy days. It is a perfect day. There were a few other spots that I was thinking of going today, including Climping and Bognor. But yeah, I did choose here. Climping is one of the more hot spots for the stingrays, but they do come out from here. And obviously along the whole West Sussex stretch, going all the way down that way, is where they come in from, most of the rays as well. So yeah. So the first bait change on the up and over pulley, as you can see that bait is untouched. So yeah, we've got another one hanging up and ready to go. So we get that one cast out now. Even though that bait hasn't been touched, it's always important to do the fresh bait changes. So this one is going for a little bit of distance, not full cast, probably about a 3/4 cast. And the other one is a half cast. Ooh, hey. Yeah, about a 3/4 cast on that one. Now sit tight and see if we get a bite. Right, there we go. So this is the second cast, and you won't believe this was a close-in one as well. We have caught ourselves a nuisance. Look at that. This is what we do not want to be seeing. We've got a very, very tiny spider crab right there, and that is on the close-in one, would you believe? So yeah, gonna get him off, get him back. These can be good bait if they're like peeler crabs sort of thing or soft shell. I think this one is hard shell, so there's no point keeping this one. But yeah, that is annoying. Little thing, eh? Look at him. Greedy little spider crab. A little bit of weight on there, so you know, thought I could have had something decent, but I had the same story last night and it was a spider crab. So yeah, they are in, and tiny ones like that are gonna be robbing everyone's bait if you're wondering. It's caught now, and the tide is starting to flood in a little bit now. So yeah, we are gonna move our gear up because we're literally right here, and there's a bit of a ledge up there. And as you can see, there is some seaweed up there. So hopefully it would be amazing if the tide does come all the way up to there, because that would be a lot of water coming in. So yeah, I'm gonna start moving my stuff up. We still haven't seen any bites or anything like that, but a lady did just walk past me, is going for a swim, and say that she saw 3 guys struggle to take in what could potentially have been that 66-pound stingray that was caught in the local area. So yeah, that's always nice to hear. So something interesting that I've just spotted as I've brought my rods up on the high tide mark is there are quite a few of these cuttle bones. So there's one here, there's another one right here, there's another one here, and guess what, there's another one even up here. Now I don't know what causes them to don't know, just die and randomly come up here or whatever. But that is some pretty substantially sized cuttlefish bones, probably a 2-pound cuttlefish, especially these bigger ones. That is massive. So yeah, it could potentially be a sort of thing where it may be worth me coming down here at some point, or at least while fishing at night, to have a rod with me with a squid jig, just to cast out and reel in. So yeah, I am thinking about coming down here tonight. You guys obviously it'll be a different time when the video gets uploaded, but I'm planning on coming down here for rays, like the ungulates and the thornbacks. So potentially might bring a squid jig or two with me. It's probably going to be impossible to see, but the right hand rod sort of been bending up and down a little bit recently. So I may go give it a little tug. There is potential that there could be something having a look at it. What the rays tend to do is they'll find a bait, most likely going to be a crab out here, and they will just go and sit on it and eat it there and just chill. So most of the time, when you're catching the stingrays, unless it runs off with your bait, you're not going to know until you start reeling in, thinking you haven't got a bite or anything like that. Here is the bait on the third sort of rig we got out. So looks like the tail of the ragworms have been taken off. So that's most likely going to be a weaver fish or the crabs. So we've got another one hanging up and ready to go. Let's get it sent out. This time I have just blasted it out. We're giving it a go further out. We've still got that one close in. But yeah, why not try further than what we've done before? What I'm sort of wondering is, on a day like this, would it have been worth bringing a third rod to try use some extra ragworm up, and using a sort of 2-hook flapper bait with the Muppets from Sea Weights for some bream. So yeah, it would have been decent to probably bring a bream rig down there, I reckon. So next time I do a bit of day fishing for the stingers, I guess we'll try for the bream as well. Here's a close-in bait, so it's looking a little bit thin, so something must have had a go at that. But yeah, getting another fresh bait out. I think it is coming up to about 10:30 now, so got 45 minutes till high tide, and it is flooding in. So yeah, probably have to move up a little bit more. Yeah, keeping on getting those fresh baits out. Well, today seems like it's been the same story all day. It is just coming up to 11 o'clock, so approximately 20 minutes before high tide. Like I say, we'll be fishing at least an hour over high tide, but yeah, that's the state of the bait that was close in. We have cast the other rod close in as well, so giving it a go. This time I'm going to cast it slightly to the left rather than the other way. But of course we've got another fat, juicy ragworm bait. Do you know what I mean? If a stingray comes across that, there's no denying the fact that they want to take it. So this is all we can do, is keep pumping out these lovely fresh ragworm wrap baits like that and hope for the best. So it has now gone past 12 o'clock and we are still fishless. Only that spider crab. So yeah, I've been changing the baits as I have been doing every 20 minutes, and they're coming in like that basically. A couple of worms left. There's been no indication today so far of a fish of any kind. There's been no bites on the rods. So maybe I've come to the wrong spot at the wrong time. This did used to be a sandy beach. I didn't see it at low tide, but obviously the stingrays are looking for sand and mud to sit on, which is why they're normally caught close in. So yeah, I think I'm going to have probably one more cast and probably only have, let's have a look, we've still got quite a decent amount of ragworm left, maybe just the ½ pound left. But yeah, I think I'm going to have one cast on each more rod and call it a day, as not much is happening down here. But yeah, I reckon next time I'm probably going to try Bognor Way or maybe even Climping. That is a bit of a hot spot for stingrays. So yeah, between Climping, Bognor and Warsash, we'll try and get one out this year. But yeah, I hope you guys appreciate the content. We are trying, and I reckon the method is there. Just got to get it where we are fishing over the better ground. So yeah, probably need to be on a muddier and sandier beach next time. You're gonna get 2 more casts on the go, and you never know, all it takes is one bite to change a session. So yeah, fingers crossed. To be fair, I'll quickly say it as we always about to put this last bait on. There was a woman that came past and had a chat. She was going for a swim, and she said that she saw a big stingray being caught down here, and 3 guys had to bring it out because it was that big. So as I said, I think I may have said it was a 66 pounder. It was on Facebook. and that is one of the inspirations of being down here. But yeah, apparently that was down here. So yeah, let's get this new fresh bait out there, do that for the next rod, and fingers crossed. Well, this just about sums today up then, I guess. Spider crab city. That is the first time this year that we have been cut off by a spider crab. See, I brought it in and I was taking the ragworm off, and as you can see, that line on the end is just chewed up. Now, to be fair, well, it must be spider crabs, but you never know, it could be the crushing pads of a ray. They're on our last cast, so we shall see.